Obviously, the quality of staff is very important. But since staff is recruited only from amongst Jehovah's Witnesses, how is it organised?
Well, we have a system involving some who are known as associates, and there are over 700 of these scattered throughout the country now. These are well-wishing brothers and sisters who've put their names forward, and they want to be of help and of service. And what it happens is that if, say, there is a staffing problem, the associates are notified of this, and then they in turn will spread the word amongst the local brothers and sisters. And with that local knowledge, they're also able to perhaps think, well, so-and-so might have the qualifications that would equip him for this particular job.
A sister was talking about it on the ministry to another sister, and I overheard her talking about it, so I asked her some questions, and she gets sent letters about Jah Jireh, so she gave it to me to have a read, and then I rang them up. I'm a regular pioneer, so I pioneer outside of work hours, and when I'm here I do care work, and a couple of mornings I do housekeeping. Most of our shifts are done in the evenings or on the weekend, so it's mainly times when we're not out on the ministry anyway, so we're able to go out quite a lot in the week and have ample time to go out on the ministry and things like that.
Yeah, and the hours that we work are hours that at home I normally wouldn't have gone out on the ministry anyway, so I'm not actually missing out on anything. And also the congregations here are extremely supportive. They're always all out on the ministry, so it's easy to have arrangements midweek.
One of the brothers in our congregation told us about Jah Jireh. He spoke to us about convention cover, and I said to him, well, I've never done care professionally. And he says to me, he says, can you make a bed? I went, of course. He says, and can you hoover? I says, don't be silly, of course I can hoover. He says, right, you're on. So my husband Jim and I and my son Paul, we all came down for convention cover.
And the first year we came here, I did washing up in the kitchen for 3 days with my son, and you were here doing care. And then we went home. The next year, they were looking for a cook. So I was slotted into the kitchen to do the cooking. And next thing, we're off on this job, and that's how we came to work here.
You don't have to be qualified to work here, because when you're here, if you want to, you can go through the courses. I'm currently doing my level 2 NVQ in care and in housekeeping. So you're getting the training while you're here.
It's not just the residents who benefit from the caring atmosphere of the Jah-Jireh homes. The rest of their family benefits too.
We were grateful for what Jah Jireh have done.
Sure.
We had a sudden need thrust upon us 3 years or so ago, and we had to use worldly care homes which weren't satisfactory at all. But the spiritual environment that Jah Jireh provide, Effie feels at home. She feels she's with her brothers and sisters, she feels secure, and she feels happy.
I think I suddenly realised we had to do something. We didn't want to go into a home at all. Yeah. No, it's all right. But when the social worker told us that she'd assessed my mother and said that she needed to go into a secure home, I knew something had to be done then. And of course the reason why she assessed her quite badly was because the way my mother was constantly speaking to people of the resurrection, won't it be wonderful in the new world, and things like this, theocratic terms which worldly people just didn't understand. And it's worked out. Jehovah's blessed our efforts, all of us, and all the people in the home, because never have I known my mother so contented and so happy in all her life. It's just, it's brought her back from near death, and that is true. We didn't expect her to live long when we brought her here. We thought if the journey didn't kill her, she wouldn't last long anyway, but it's now 3 years.